What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Jehu Film, and well, I've got my rule breaking hat on because it's time to break another one of the rules, or one of the shooting tips for Polaroid pictures. You see, we just got like the largest snowstorm in the Piedmont of North Carolina that I have ever seen. And well, what better time to test out what happens to a Polaroid picture if you expose it in way too cold of a temperature. And I've got a treat for you guys. You know, I've got a hand warmer. Did I bring the hand warmer with me? I already took some photos, yes. I already took some photos, and I used this hand warmer right here to try and keep them warm while they were exposing in my camera bag in the little insulated pouch. But what rule are we going to break? Well, there's really not a rule that says don't expose your film in crazy cold weather, but the shooting tip right here is actually shooting tip number 1. It's your tool, keep it cool, right there. We're gonna break that rule. Instead of keeping it cool, we're going to, well, freeze it by sticking it halfway in the snow. And what are we gonna take a photo of this time? I figure we'll take a photo of these little solar-powered lights, little lawn ornaments, and see how they expose. We're always going to take one control, so that control is going to be, I'm going to take it into my house, and then we're going to come back out here, and I'm going to take the second photo, and we're going to, well, dip it halfway into the snow, like so that we can see what it looks like if half of it is covered in snow and half of it is exposed to, well, the sunlight, because the sunlight actually is a little bit warmer today than the actual snow itself. Yesterday it was completely cloudy. It was snowing harder than I've ever seen it snow here before, and all day, so much longer. So here we go. Let's test this out. And I'm going to use my Danger camera. That's right, I'm going to use my Polaroid Now, which is something that I actually don't know that I've used ever since I got the Flip, because the Flip and the i2 just take such good photos that I've been using those. But with this winter weather out here, and not wanting to drop my cameras in the snow while performing this experiment, yeah, it's time to bring out Danger Cam. Alright, let me turn Danger Cam on here. This is going to be our first shot. This is going to be the shot that I take inside so that it exposes properly, and then I'm going to take a second shot and, well, just stick it right into the snow. So here's our first shot. I'm going to take it inside real quick. Alright, now it's time for the Danger Cam shot. This one is dipping in the ice. I'm gonna try and get about the same framing as before. Here we go. Here it is, and here it goes. Whoop, right there. And there you have it. There is Danger Cam sitting there in the snow. And there is also our Polaroid picture halfway buried into the snow. We're going to see what this cold weather and this icy cold chill is going to do to our photograph. Now, obviously, with it being so cold, the chemicals are going to react slower than the one on the inside, so it's going to expose first. I estimate this is probably going to take a good 20 minutes. So yeah, while that picture is developing in the snow, let's take a look at some other pictures that I took with the Polaroid Now, and it's actually kind of surprising. I think I may have found one of the Polaroid Now's only strong suits. They're infamous for overexposing, but in an environment where it's mostly snow, just like this bright white snow, they actually get decent photos. I mean, take a look at this photo of my wife and daughter walking down the street, and you'll notice that most of it is green except for like the upper center portion. Yep, that's where the heater pack was touching the film that was in my camera bag, so you can definitely tell where the heater pack was and where it was affecting the film.
nevertheless, even with the green tint to it, it's still a decent photo. I liked how it turned out, and if I could have positioned the heater pack so that it was more centered, I think that would have made for a very cool photo. Let's check back in on our experiment and see how it's going.
It's been roughly 10 minutes since I took the first photo, the safety photo, the one that I took inside, and it is exposing quite nicely. The one that is out here in the frigid cold air, well, it looks like hardly anything has happened to it so far. I'm going to take it out of the snow real quick. I think something is starting to come through, but I'm not really sure yet. I'm going to put it back in the snow, right there. And we're going to wait another 10 minutes and see what happens.
Alright, we're continuing to wait for that experiment to develop in the snow. And here is another Polaroid Now photo that I took in downtown. I asked my wife and daughter to sit at one of the snow-covered tables because, well, it's just hilarious. But look at that. The heater pack appeared to be a little bit more centered on this one. And so yeah, once again, it's got this sort of green tinge. It even looks a little hazy around the outsides of this photograph. But I really like how this came out again. Once again, my wife and daughter seem to be well exposed. Let's see if we're anywhere closer to our experiment being finished.
Well, it has been over 20 minutes now, and I can definitely say that while it hasn't fully exposed, something is beginning to appear here. I'm going to lift it out of the snow here. Oh yeah, we're definitely seeing some discoloration, and I'm definitely starting to see the little peppermint candy thing starting to show up, and I see something green in there too. It might be one of those lights. No, wait, I think it's actually this black card. We actually did catch the black card in the photo as well. So yeah, I'm gonna let it sit out here longer. I mean, we knew that having it in extremely cold air was going to cause the chemical reaction to happen much slower, but this is even slower than I expected. So yeah, we're gonna keep waiting.
And here's the last photo I'm going to show you guys from downtown. This is the Dale Earnhardt tribute, and man, it seems like the heater pack that was in my camera bag was positioned perfectly on the statue, although the statue's head is a little bit green and a little bit blurry. Nevertheless, you can see my daughter there looking at the statue and playing in the snow. It is actually really slippery right there because of how smooth the stone was around the statue. I think they both fell after taking this photo. So it looks really cool, especially with this sort of snow cape around the statue's shoulders. So, and then a little snow cap as well on his head. Alright, now it's time to finish up this experiment on how a Polaroid picture exposes in extreme cold temperatures.
Well, everyone, it has now been 40 minutes of this picture exposing in the snow. I'm just going to go ahead and take it out. There's some very clear indications that the cold has affected it. You can see it right there. I hope you can see it. I can't see the screen. The very top of the photo is extremely green, which we know the chemical reaction that it has. It turns green when it's just too cold. But I think this is good enough. I think we can take this inside into regular room temperature. I think the damage is done, and I'll show you guys the results after that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Here is our control photograph. As you can see, it exposed really well. I love the detail that's in the snow. I can see the lawn ornaments quite well, including the little black card that's stuck in the snow. I think this, once again, turned out really well. And this is another example of the Polaroid Now actually taking a good exposure. I was really impressed with this one. And now it's time to show you the results of the experiment. And boy, is it interesting. Look here. You can see here that the photograph definitely did not expose properly. The extreme cold weather seems to have softened it up a lot, given it almost this dreamy yellow-green haze to it. I would almost harken it to the Reclaimed Green series, although it's not quite. What I thought was just the green from it being stuck halfway in the snow was actually the shadows that you can see in the original control photo as well. So I think we would have seen that green all throughout if I had had darker colors further down towards the bottom of the photograph, but since the bottom is mainly snow, yeah, it's just a hazy yellow. You can definitely tell that the photo's not as sharp, and the chemicals definitely did not develop the photograph to its fullest. And let's put them side by side. So yeah, this is what it looks like when a Polaroid picture develops in icy cold weather. It's a stark difference, and this is a great example of what not to do. Or, I mean, if you're gonna do this, make sure you have maybe 1 or 2 heater packs in your camera bag or wherever you're gonna store your photos while they're developing. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this experiment turned out. It was great to see just what exactly happens when a Polaroid picture develops in extreme cold. And I look forward to doing more of these rule-breaking videos. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've had these experiences before developing Polaroid film in extreme cold weather. Thank you guys for watching Jehu Film. I hope you guys liked this video. You'll like and subscribe. If you're watching on a mobile device, be sure and give me some hype. Definitely need that stuff. And I hope you'll check out more on our channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.